Hi, they can see us now?
They can see us now.
Excellent!
Yep, I'm going to get Bookface up and running.
Oh, Facebook. You guys are fun.
Hi, Bookface. How do you do, Bookface? All right. Da, 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 da. So I do not have mute pedals for you this week. And
That's fine.
That's
so
because
no
of the new
coughing,
ISO.
sneezing,
No,
breathing
it's
heavy.
okay because I can isolate it.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
But I will add the mute pedals just to make my post-production better.
Easier.
So
yeah.
this week, just be mindful that I don't have mute pedals. So
Don't
you know,
stomp on
try
the floor.
Try to be like,
So here's the question I do want to know, though.
yes.
Between the isolated channels
Yeah.
and the mics, you still are going to pick up a little bit of like my voice and a little bit of Sasha's because you're in the middle, but Sasha's mic is less likely to pick up me, correct? Unless I'm really loud.
Yes, however, we have crosstalk filtering.
Oh, okay.
So what it does is it samples each mic in real time. So your mic will pick up a little bit of me, but my mic will be louder. So it will turn off your mic during that time. And it will bring up my mic.
Oh, okay.
And then when you start talking, it will bring back up your mic and turn off my mic.
Okay, but when we're both talking at the same time, that won't happen.
Correct.
Okay.
But it will remove the cross-talking.
Right, okay.
So there won't be...
It's magic.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Somebody actually programmed that and thought of it, and it boggles my mind.
You know, I don't know how, somehow... You know how there's that weird random person somewhere in the States that is using my email? Because they've got the same email, but like there's a period or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I keep getting signed up for stupid services. Now
No
I've got
way.
Spotify bugging me.
Nice. Whoa.
Huh.
It's not a good scenario.
Okay.
No, I bet not.
Yes.
How about if you change your email?
Hey, Bookface.
The email that I've had for almost 20 years.
Why are
Yeah,
you so
really.
attached to your email?
This is
The amount of stuff I have connected to that email, I can't just walk away from it.
Sasha as a dermatus
Created a
doesn't you don't have any sympathy because you don't understand. You've never had a problem where somebody else has a very similar name.
Yeah, no.
Oddly enough,
No.
the girl's name is Jessica. She's in the States somewhere. From what I can
And
tell,
she goes by Jeff?
And she goes by Jeffica?
No. But my email is
I love that laugh.
it's JS Weston. And so
okay.
Have
So
you
it's
ever
like-
messaged her and been like, what up?
every time
Weird.
I don't like your Spotify
Yeah.
selection.
So
Yeah,
there
really.
was two other people. There was a John,
John.
and then there's Jess.
Johan.
And so Jess is in Colorado.
Check,
John
check,
was
check,
in
check.
If you're
I think-
watching, Jess, change your email.
was in Utah, I think.
Hey.
And
check
so
1, 2,
I was
check,
so
check.
John got connected to a board,
Borg.
like a
The Borg?
he was not
He was
assimilated.
boarded?
No,
Boarded?
like to like an executive board.
Oh, okay.
And so I suddenly got meeting minutes, and I responded, and I'm like, I am not who you think I am.
Oh.
And then he got fired.
He has punctuation or something in his email, and Google removes that, and it's coming to me.
Wow.
And so they respond and they're like, "Thank you so much. This could be like a confidentiality thing. We'll make sure we let him know. Stop getting his stuff.
Nice.
This is awesome." Jess, on the other hand, refuses to address the problem. Her mom is signed up in some long-term care. She's got medical appointments. She books travel. I get all her stuff.
She's living the life.
Yeah. It's frustrating because every time I get those, I contact the person. I'm like, just so you know, I'm getting her stuff, and it's not me.
Have you tried emailing her?
I don't know what the iteration of her email is because Google removed.
Oh, you don't know the
punctuation.
real one?
Right.
So, like, you could take any email address, like, say somebody's email was free@gmail.com. You can go f.re@gmail.com. Free is going to get it. You can go f.r.e, and free is going to get it.
So rickman.sasha@gmail.com.
Then there's a Rickman Sasha who's getting your emails if that email's been created.
Oh, yeah, but there isn't because I feel like that person doesn't exist other than me.
Have you tried to sign up for that email?
Yeah, that
Check.
is my email.
Check.
No.
You guys saying that it's clipping?
Rickman.Sasha.
Clipping?
Have you tried
Here, I
signing
can
up
fix
for
that.
Rickman
Check.
Sasha?
No.
Is that better? Is that better?
If it says
check,
it's
check,
taken,
check.
somebody's getting your emails.
Is that better for you?
Oh, that's perfect. I
It's
don't need
a
all
whole
those
new
emails.
sound system, folks.
But if it's confidential
So-
stuff.
Oh,
Let me know.
right.
Is
So
that better?
I'm getting Jess's stuff all the time. And it's frustrating.
I would track her down. I would
I
find
get her
a way.
Wayfair orders. I get her
So then you know her
Jim Marie
address.
orders. Yes.
Write her a letter.
Tried.
Oh. And?
Nothing.
Return to sender?
I think I'm being treated like some internet stalker. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm just trying to get your stuff. It's frustrating.
Maybe in the letter be like, here are the things I know about you. And here's how you can stop me from
No man
knowing.
had the same issue when he was in the military.
Wow.
Military police showed up at your barracks? Oh my gosh!
Oh, no. In the next unit.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
What are the chances with a name like Noman 5?
Well, but no, it's like that's one of the problems with Google, and they know, and they don't care.
Wowzers.
That's the crazy part.
You
they
need
know.
to have a last name like Dermatus. I mean, Rickman is kind of more common, but not super common.
It's just frustrating. Yes.
Yeah.
So I do have another email
Yes.
that I use, but the problem is for years I kept them separate so that the Gmail was personal, but I
Thanks,
converted it to sign up
chat
for
room.
services.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other email is a personal one, and it's not Gmail because I don't want to deal with this issue again. But it's like I don't want to have to create another email address just for services to sign up. There's probably 200-300 services that I'm connected to in different capacities.
Mm-hmm.
And to go through and change them all, and some of them are subscription based, and it's like, ugh. It's just the work is not like, you know how when you move, you can go to Canada Post and go, I'm paying for the service for the next 4 months, where if mail shows up, you reroute it.
Yes.
I wish we could do that with email.
Yes.
I would pay a service. Anybody listening, here's an idea for you. Email rerouting that automatically updates within services. I would pay for that service. Action!
Category 5, take 1. Episode 642. The white doesn't seem as white. Do you need to turn on that light?
Ba-da-da-bum, ba-dum-bum.
I'm rhyming.
No, that's
today.
why. That's why we do it.
This is almost like the one I have at home.
Perfect. So you're the right guy to review it.
Super de-duper.
All right. So am I just...
Chat room let us know that there was audio issues right off the top, and I'm really hoping that everything worked for our vlog.
Oh my, so yeah.
So we don't need to talk about that, but just so you guys know, there is a potential issue there.
Right.
What was the
Because
issue?
When I got
They said
here
the audio
today-
was horrible.
Like echoey?
No, like blasting,
Oh.
like as if it was like maxed out, compressed.
Oh.
So we'll see.
Well, at least we have audio or visual.
We do now,
or-
but because we recorded previously, I'm just hoping that it didn't affect what we had recorded
Well,
previously.
we would just
See,
re-record.
Solbu,
Yeah.
I've thought about that. I own my own domain name. I mean, I guess that makes sense if you own a domain name. But I've thought about creating sub-services under my web domain
Mm-hmm.
just for that purpose. But it's the hassle of it.
Right. Well, maybe she'll get married and change your email.
I highly doubt it. It sounds like she's
She's going through a
well
lot right now.
established in life.
Huh.
Because I think her mom's like 92.
Oh, so
Yeah.
she's got to be in her 60s, 70s.
Yeah. And this could be why she's ignoring me.
Right.
So, and I've even tried to contact Google to say your service is
Flawed.
flawed and I'm getting confidential information that is putting you in a situation where you are violating privacy.
Maybe try it in a feedback sandwich where you start with a compliment. I think Google would be far more receptive if you did that.
Hey, I love your name. I say Google something. You've currently branded searching on the internet. By the way, you suck.
And then you end it. It's a sandwich. You need 2 pieces of bread. End it with another.
And good job for...
Changing your doodles on specific days. You're very creative.
So Solbu's saying maybe a few decibels lower when we get excited. It still clips a bit.
Oh, yeah? And you know why? I'm not overly concerned about that because we are isolating tonight, so that is a little bit lower now. We just don't have access to the compressors yet. Do you want to know why? I'm doing a lot of walking around here to show you guys everything. So
Yeah. So this is what happened on the weekend?
This is part of what happened on the weekend. Yeah.
That is insane.
So
I had like no time.
Yeah.
To help with this weekend. I felt bad.
yeah.
I was packed from Friday night till Sunday night.
Yeah, it was a work
So
weekend for me.
This
so.
is our compressor coming in right there. So see the silver one? That's the compressor. And do you notice the power is turned off? Because right now we are so in between setup that I have to pull the audio directly off the microphones into the board out to the computer. No compression, no processing, no nothing.
So what does that mean? What does it sound like then?
It means that if we get loud, it's going to clip
Yeah.
on the audio for the viewers that are watching live. However, know that we are recording isolated audio here, and we are not clipping in the studio. So what that means is that in post-production for the on-demand show, audio looks really good.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So everything here is now isolated. I've been talking about how we've been wanting isolated audio. So I'm going to go... so right now, I'm the only one talking. Everyone else is being pretty quiet. So in this picture, you're going to see that channel 1 is currently active. Channels 2 and 3, 2 being Sasha, 3 being Jeff, are just kind of hovering because of room noise and that kind of thing. So I'll use the gate to bring that down. So the audio there on 1, 2, and 3. So 1 is me, Sasha's 2, and Jeff is 3. It's just direct. But we're recording isolated to that unit.
Mm-hmm.
And so in post-production, I have the ability... See how there's a red dot above each of those channels? That means it's recording right now.
Very nice. So, quick question before we get into the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not unboxing over there.
Correct. We can't even access that area of the
Okay.
studio. We'll just do our best. I'm not going to get stressed out over the fact that we're in between right now. We're
Are
at this.
you doing the talking, or am I?
No, you do.
I'm doing the whole thing.
We'll
Okay.
all kind of talk about it.
Okay.
I think you have the most experience with this type of thing. And for me, we'll just talk about how I want this to kind of encourage devices to end up in the right place at night, and also to streamline the fact that we have cables everywhere.
You have a phone here.
In my pocket.
You have a phone here.
Are you planning on doing something fun?
Yes.
Oh, I could have had 2 phones here, but I don't.
I have power under the desk,
I know
so
we have
I can
the
plug it in.
teleprompter, but do we have another tablet?
No, not really. Why? You want to plug in a bunch of things?
Well, what I want to see, because the one I have at home
Yeah.
looked awesome when they have pictures like this.
Yeah.
It does not do well when you have different case sizes. Like some of our stuff goes and falls forward.
Oh, like when you're putting the dishes in the dish rack and you have to
Yeah.
be careful of the balance.
So that's one. Yes. So that's why I'm looking at this going. This is great when they're all uncased, thin profile. The moment you case, i.e., where I've got this little knob on the back,
Yeah.
it throws balance off and then it sits forward and then.
Is there any way to kind of simulate that just with your hands? Like just kind of...
Well, I'm sure I could figure it out. I mean, my case is probably the thickest, so it'll be a good.
Yes.
But I was just looking at the teleprompter and I'm like, that's a fairly thick device.
Yeah, but I
So-
can't pull the teleprompter off during the live show.
No, I know. That's why I asked if there was another tablet. No big deal.
I do have an old first gen iPad in the studio somewhere, but because it's so old and
Yeah. No, it's all good.
yeah,
It was
I
just
don't
more
know
so
where it
a
is.
thinking on the fly question.
Yeah,
What is
I've
with my
got
headset? I feel
here's
like
an old
it's falling.
iPod.
That's funny. I had
Does that
problems
help?
with mine too.
It's like I don't know. It's like it's not fitting my ear properly. It's just,
Wouldn't it be
Drop
funny
it.
if we
There's an old
actually
iPod.
switched?
oh my gosh! Is that how small they were?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Um,
Aww. It's like a little
It's like a baby device.
It's a wee
The
little
size of that
baby.
thing.
And
As far as
slowly
the
but surely things
iPad
have gotten
goes,
bigger,
though.
and now we've needed bigger pockets. Women are
Yeah.
getting pockets now.
What?
I was in a
I wasn't
meeting
informed of
today.
this.
Specifically for phones, like in yoga pants,
Whoa.
we have pockets.
Unreal.
Well, it's true. My wife gets excited when the dress has pockets. But no, I was in a meeting today, and the guy had one of those like a sensor in his arm for like regular readings of
Diabetes?
diabetes, And even the scanner was bigger than this.
Yeah.
Holy cow, these things are small.
Why can't we go back to those days?
Yeah, small is good.
That's what I say.
But people watch TV on their phones now,
Yeah, I
so
know.
yeah.
Is it time? I feel like we're
5 minutes
ahead
in.
of schedule. How did that happen?
I know, right? Okay.
All right. I could do this.
There was a moment of stress before you got here, Jeff, when the visuals were not working.
Yeah, the camera wasn't working at all.
Oh.
Not one bit. And I was like, I'll just be in the chat room acting like everything's normal.
You need more coffee. Do you want to go get a coffee before we
No,
start?
I have water under the table.
Oh, is
I
that
don't
your
know if you
plan?
know my history with coffee at night, but it makes me wake up from my dreams. And my dreams have lately been very odd, and I don't want them.
Makes sense.
I've had a
makes
few
sense.
odd ones lately.
Mm-hmm.
One, I woke up the other day and I said, okay, Jen, this is so weird. I got to relay it to you. And she's like, yeah, that's the first time you've had one of those.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd.
Yeah. So I feel like no coffee after like noon, except for on Wednesdays, 1 when I get here.
See, my difference is the dog slept in the bed.
Oh.
We never had our dog sleep in the bed,
Yeah.
but our new dog, she got shots, like
She got shot?
shots, needles, and
I was just taking it somewhere else.
yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
And she reacted to the shot. She got very sick. And so we're like, you know what? She already has separation anxiety. We're working on that. But when she's sick, we have never experienced this. So, because we woke up the one morning and she doggy vomited everywhere.
What is so kind about you and this story is that you're like, wow, you're poltergeisting. Come into our human bed.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And she repaid that with taking up my spot and pushing me to the edge.
Right.
So that my back end is hanging out of the bed. And I'm like, I can't sleep. This is ridiculous. So I think I had weird dreams because of that.
Soul Boo, it's brand new. This is the first week. Are levels level between us? It's hard for me to tell. I feel like I'm quieter, but I think I'm not.
You're just a soft-spoken individual.
I've been listening.
Am I really?
Yeah.
I think it's just because I'm.
Oh,
Because
'cause
you know
you can
you hear
hear-
yourself
yes.
differently than everyone else.
That's right.
I don't like the sound of my voice. I don't like that one bit. I don't like to watch myself on. I like that you like to watch me. When I do it, it feels creepy. I'm not that girl.
See, I have conversations with myself all the time. That's how I process.
But do you listen to them after? Like, do you record them and listen to your voice?
No. No, just me and myself conversing.
Oh, out loud?
Yeah, and we'll work through our
Outside your
problems.
head?
No,
Hey,
like,
Geek 75, I'll have the compressor set up next week, okay? We're doing it this weekend.
yeah. No, but like, I'll be sitting at the computer. I'm like, why is this happening? Okay, so I've done this. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Think. What did you do? What did you do? I did this. That's what I'm missing. Okay, I got to go do this. And I'll talk to myself like that.
Oh.
If I do that in my head, I don't think as fast. And I can't, like, connect the dots. I'm an audible thinker. Except when it's a really deep thing, and then I just have to ruminate and not think and let it process in the subconscious.
Right. Think about it really hard for like 30 minutes and then throw it out of your head, and then like later it'll
Yeah.
just come to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do that. However, I don't talk out loud to myself.
You know what, No Man 5, you're correct. You do need an expert opinion, and I'm as expert of my head as I can think.
You guys ready? Everybody knows what we're doing and what you're covering tonight?
Yes.
Oh, no. I'm kidding. I do. Ish. As much as I ever do.
Out of curiosity, do my hands look blue?
Yes. That one, especially, but that
Okay.
one too. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I'm just going to go wash them. It's new jeans. Doesn't matter how many times you wash new jeans, they always dye your skin.
Yes.
Hate it.
Okay. We'll wait for you.
Yeah, not like we're live now.
Well, you said we're about to go, and I saw my hands, and I'm like, they're blue.
I can't speak. Should I have lied to you?
Talking about a 30-second delay. I feel like that's better. Not as blue.
Oh, I get less spunky though as soon as we go actual live. You'll notice.
That's when she goes,
Hi, everybody.
If we never went live, this is what you would get all the
Yeah.
time. And then as soon as we go live, I'm like, and then I just say yes and a lot.
No, none of us have nerves at all. We've been doing this too long.
Okay. Good to go.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just adjusting my socks. 'Cause
Oh,
they're
those are cool.
falling down. Are they?
I have
They're
Y socks.
Cool. I have cool socks.
They got-
Jeff has Y's
Yeah,
cam socks.
Oh my gosh, I can't get my.
New jeans,
feet up
man.
that
New
high.
jeans. Don't even try.
It's like I'm too old and not in shape to do that. But there we go.
I washed
Wise
these.
cam.
Wise cams.
I washed these since the last time. Since the last time when y'all made fun of me for not washing them for a year and a half. They're washed now.
They
All right.
washed? Okay, good, because you just put them like right on my coffee.
I feel like they
Well,
just stretch
don't
after
lick the
that.
table right
Pull
here.
muscle.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You ready? We're ready.
Who? Our live recordings are trusted only to solid-state drives by Kingston Technology. Revive your computer with improved performance and reliability over traditional hard drives with Kingston SSDs.
Category 5 TV streams live with Telestream Wirecast and Nimble Streamer. Tune in every week on Roku, Kodi, and other HLS video players. For local showtimes, visit category5.tv.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It's so great to have you here. Have you ever had a hard drive crash?
Yes.
My hard drive failed this past week.
You had a
I'm saying
backup though, right?
Failed. No, I didn't have a backup, but that's me. In my scenario, I didn't need a backup because I don't store anything on my hard drive.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when my
Because-
hard drive failed, there was no backup.
Oh.
There was like 7 years of photos.
See, my life is about central management of data. So, like, this is how I'm able to use, like, a Pinebook Pro to do
Right.
video editing.
Mm.
Yeah, we talked about that
So
last week.
I'm remoted in through a VPN connection to a massive server that has iSCSI access to massive storage.
Right.
So I don't need any kind of storage on my devices. So when
Right.
my hard drive failed, I'm saying failed, it didn't take any of my data with it. It just was a bit of an inconvenience. I had to put in a new drive and get back up and running, get everything reinstalled. But what was a little frightening about this particular failure
Uh-huh.
that I have never encountered in my entire career as a computer technician in my entire life
Ooh.
is that when I walked in to my office, there was a stench of melted electronics.
Oh no.
Oh.
I don't have very good photos, but what I have, I will give you. My hard drive caught on fire overnight.
No.
Yes. So within the chassis of my computer, which is like an aluminum
Yeah.
case, there was a fire.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you think about, so then I'm thinking, oh my goodness, all the time. I've never seen this happen before,
No.
ever.
Wow.
And there's nothing that I have ever done that should have caused that. There's nothing that I did to do that. There's no,
There was no
the-
dust buildup.
no, the computer is perfectly clean under my desk and is never moved. It's statically set up, and it just was, it was a cheap SSD, I think,
Wow.
and it literally caught on fire inside the
Wow.
chassis. So the fire was contained. The computer was okay, thankfully, but stunk like a beast
No doubt.
for about 3 days. But the drive itself was
So,
baked.
did you contact?
No. No, I replaced it with a good Kingston hard drive.
Yeah, of course you
SSD.
did.
Yeah, I did. And reinstalled my stuff, and I'm back up and running in a few
Kingston's
hours.
Like, how
but
come you didn't do this the first time?
but it really did make me think about all those times that I've thought about doing like wooden builds.
Yeah.
Like maybe
Not a good idea.
it was a really good thing that my computer chassis was made of aluminum.
Yes.
Maybe that, and fairly airtight to the point where not a whole lot of oxygen can get in once it's expelled.
Right.
You know?
And so, like, the burning didn't affect any of the other components.
No, because it was in the drive tray, so it was contained within the tray. So the tray itself actually had some plastic components as well.
Yep.
Those plastic components melted and dripped down.
Wow.
But the
So it wasn't like a flash
Yes.
burn. It was like
no, it was
legit
a
going.
fire. It was a fire inside the case of the hard drive.
Wow.
Yeah. The SSD. It was
And that's the crazy part
solid-state
is that
drive.
it's an SSD. Like I could see that maybe with, traditional hard drive with
Yeah.
like moving parts, but an SSD to catch fire.
I would be really proud if it was like a moving parts thing. Like, I worked that beast so hard. I got it up to 15 billion RPM.
That's right.
And then, poof. No, but it
Wow.
must have burnt for a while. It was pretty bad. But
Did you get alerts or did you like what?
nah, this is just my desktop computer. I didn't have NEMS running, monitoring on it or anything like that. However, because the board, it did make me think, because the motherboard has USB ports on the motherboard.
Yeah.
I think I might put a temper device in my computer chassis.
Mm-hmm.
And a temper device is like a USB thermal sensor. And
Yeah,
there's a
had
humidity sensor as
an
well.
episode with one
We
of
did.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do that.
So imagine
please.
putting that in,
Yeah.
and then I could have gotten an alert from NEMS Linux that said, hey, your computer is 140 degrees Celsius.
And would you have been like, oh, that
That's
must be a
weird.
mistake?
Gotta check the programming.
That would have been a little bit of a strange alert
it's-
for sure.
yeah.
However, you can trust NEMS that the
Yes.
data is accurate. So
Wow.
Then you would have
wild.
gone to see it in action. Brought some marshmallows.
yeah.
But thankfully
Boy,
it was
boy.
contained because
It
that
was,
could have
yes.
impacted the entire office.
Yeah, but doesn't it make you think about like all these like builds that I'm doing and some of them made of cardboard.
Yeah.
So I'm really kind of rethinking the materials that I use for my builds and I think about KKSB cases for single board computers and how they're like solid steel, bent and fabricated steel, and that just says quality to me, and like
Yeah.
that's gonna protect me in event of like a short circuit or something
Yeah,
like that. I
exactly.
don't know what happened to the drive. It was like an internal thing.
I've never had a hard drive catch fire.
Never.
I've
Never.
had power supplies.
I've never
Oh,
had
like
a
UPS?
fire like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the computer that I built, I don't know, 4 years ago. 6 months in, all of a sudden I'm like, what is that smell?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I went down to the computer and I realized,
I've burnt
like,
capacitors
it's-
and stuff.
It's smoked that.
Sure. But I've burnt capacitors. I've had things burst.
Yeah.
But I'm talking this caught on fire. Like
Wild.
literally.
I wish
Not from heat. This was like a
Video.
short circuit in the power lines or something
Ooh.
within the drive. Crazy stuff. So I mean, hey, I've never seen it happen before, but now I know it could happen.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
it's scary.
Could it really?
Could
It
happen
actually
again?
did happen to Robbie.
What are the stats, I wonder?
I think we should all try to simulate it. Make it happen.
Right.
Boy, oh
I
boy.
wonder if there's there is some data as to what could cause an SSD to light on fire.
What's on the inside
I
of
don't
an
think it's a
SSD?
very common thing.
What's on the inside of it? What is the
You've got a
Stuff.
PCB circuit board with memory modules.
Yeah.
Essentially, and some resistors and all kinds of little circuits and stuff. But so
nothing's
something
moving.
in there. No.
Yeah.
And there's no moving parts, and so something in there short circuited, I think, and maybe like 12 volt hit something else and decided to explode and catch fire. I don't know.
What's interesting is that it happened when you weren't in the office. Because if it happened while you
Yeah.
were in the office, it might have taken a while for you to figure out.
I might have been like, okay, my computer's on fire. Like, because you
Yeah.
would have smelled it. It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
brutal. Yeah.
You might have ruined
Interesting.
your computer with like a fire extinguisher at that point.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's probably good.
Yikes.
It's probably good that
Well,
it happened when you weren't.
But an
there.
electrical fire contained within an aluminum box is hopefully pretty safe. But if
like
it
the
w-
best of the bad
if
scenarios.
it was in one of my wooden chassis, not
Perhaps not so
not a
good.
good scenario.
Why do I smell charred hickory?
Wow. Speaking of burnt, have you tried any healthy foods lately?
I am always trying healthy foods, Jeff, because I'm learning from the technology that I've invested in. Now,
Yep.
my budget was $100, as you know. So a few weeks ago, we
Still.
started looking at the various technologies like my fitness tracker, like my smart scale that allow me to educate myself about my health, to be able to lose some weight inevitably as kind of a side effect of that. And I've consistently, so whenever I tell you how much I've lost, it's only based on consistency. So if I hit 7.6 pounds loss and then I went back to 6 point, I'm not gonna tell you 7, but I've been consistently beyond the 7 pounds mark now
That
this
is
week.
awesome.
So another couple pounds since last week, and I've only been doing it for a month, and it's just by educating myself. But part of that, Jeff, is eating a little eating healthy, but I've cut carbs as much as I can from my diet because I learned about the fact that I'm burning carbs instead of burning fat, and it's working. And it actually is working. So yeah, I did I've been using cauliflower instead of rice, so ground up cauliflower.
Yeah,
It's actually delicious.
delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and it's like a rice substitute, but there's no carbs. So
good.
but it's just like a plate of vegetable instead of rice.
You can cut up some green onions.
Yeah.
Toss them in there.
Oh yes.
I had
That
pizza
works.
last night.
Mushrooms and stuff like that. I'll have pizza once a week. Like I get a cheat day once a week. So I took my daughter for pizza, and we had like a cheese pizza, and that's fun. I also have started. So now I'm at that point where I've kind of not plateaued. I'm still losing weight fairly consistently, but fairly slowly. So one of the things we have a Biggest Loser channel on Discord, and Marshman had mentioned that one of the things I can do to kind of accelerate things is to sustain exercise in such a way that, okay, like if I run up the stairs, my heart rate gets going, but then it settles back down because I'm done. Well, so do things that are going to sustain a little bit more exercise, essentially. So I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary. Like I'm not really changing my life or anything because it's got to be within reason for the way that I live.
Yes.
But I gave my 12-year-old a piggyback ride while we were at Walmart.
That works.
And I'm looking and I'm like, holy cow, I burn a lot of calories doing that. I actually kind of started to get sore legs from doing that because like he's 12 years old. He's a big guy. And so for him, it was a lot of fun. It was a great time.
Yep.
For me, it was like, this is a great way to sustain that kind of heart rate. So that was something. And then I took my youngest, who's 9, I took him skating last night. So
that's all right.
we found an outdoor skating rink here in Barrie, Ontario, and we strapped on the skates for the first time in a couple of years.
Nice.
And we skated for an hour and 15 minutes or so.
And
And
I bet
that
you the time
again
flew
was just
by because
it
it's
flew
skating.
by, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fun, and for him again. So for the kids, it's like this is great daddy time. For dad, it's great dad child time, but also at the same time I've got that kind of side motive of, hey, I'm doing things with the kids that are trying to get me to be more physically active as a computer geek.
And
I mean, because I'm
planting the
through and
seed
through.
for your children that this fun activity stuff is actually fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're like, I'll go outside and play, and you don't do it yourself, it's not as much fun as if dad's out there actually.
Oh, sure.
Playing around.
And I was also surprised, like something like finding an outdoor skating rink that the city maintains. Like they have a Zamboni at their outdoor skating rink. Like this is serious, real deal skating. And it's free.
Which is awesome.
Tax dollars pay for it. So you just go and strap on your skates and go and skate as long as you want. And it's open till 10 p.m. So for me, it was like, this is a really, really cheap outing. Cost us nothing to go out. So that was fantastic. So
see, you're living healthier. I, quite frankly, am just not caring too much right about now. But I will say,
That's fine.
I had a very busy weekend.
Yeah.
And on Saturday and Sunday, my watch rewarded me for beating my daily activity goals. And I was like, yeah, for the win, because I had stuff to do and a house to clean.
There you go.
But it was good.
Nice.
I will say, though, I think my steps are lower today than they were last week. I'm at 1,878 steps. Now, Sasha, you have a competition.
I've got 4,500, but
I'm
that's better than
at
last week.
7,500.
okay.
So that's lower than last week. I
That's
think
lower than last
you're-
week. Last week I was in competition.
Well, that's
And
right.
it
So
depends if
did you
I-
cheat? Did you end up cheating?
No, I don't cheat.
Well, no, because we had that conversation
Although
where you
I
could go
will
like this and
say
get steps.
There has been some
No.
discussion in Discord on what cheating really is. I play video games and it ups my step count. I
And
don't
you were saying
think
you're
that
using
it's-
this as a way to like I'm doing with the piggyback rides,
Exactly.
maintain that.
So
it doesn't feel like cheating to me.
So
No,
then
that's a
did
workout.
you use
Yeah.
activity manipulation to win your
No,
contest?
I did
No?
not.
Okay. So
you
what
beat
did you
anybody?
do this week?
Yes. Oh, this week I beat Crimson Fang.
What?
Oh! Tell
I
us about
did.
it.
Okay,
Is
so
this like a real workout?
yes. Well, in virtual reality.
I was going to say, you have to clarify, though, what Crimson Fang is.
Okay, so I have an Vive, an HTC Vive, and I play a game called Knockout League. So in that game, there's a series of competitors that you fight against.
Boxing?
Boxing. I was in a boxing match. And they are tough. They're beasts because they're not based in reality. They can do things that I cannot do.
Oh.
And I was really stuck on Crimson Fang like for a long time because she wears this mask, and if you punch too slow, the mask will bite you.
Oh dear.
And I was and
Just like real boxing.
the fight
Based on reality, the mask bites you. What?
and
Mike Tyson didn't need a mask.
the fights last 6 minutes. And oftentimes when I lose like at the 5 minutes and 30-second point. So I can only.
So you don't have that staying power for the full 6 minute round.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to really work myself up to the cardio of a 6 minute fight. I don't understand how
Wow.
they do rounds of this against real competitors. It was intense. Anyway, so my next opponent is going to be a long way off.
So was this like exclusively a cardiovascular kind of like?
Yes.
Like, do you feel it in your?
You feel
like,
it in your everything.
Because there's no physical interaction, right?
Well, you're holding on to the controllers, right? Not that they have a lot of weight, but you're also like swinging,
Yeah, yeah.
punching, deking, dodging. So like it's a full body deal. Like it's
I gotta try this sometime.
you have to try
so
it.
cool.
How long ago did she build that computer? 2 years ago?
Couple years, yeah.
Weren't we supposed to have like a
Yeah, we
VR,
should. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
Cat 5
yeah,
VR
yeah.
day?
We ought to have a
Sasha,
Cat
let's
5
do
there.
that. All right,
I feel like the
next
computer's gonna
Wednesday.
die before
I
we
wish.
get there.
Very cool.
Oh, that's exciting.
So however you decide, I mean, this is, for me is part of my kind of New Year's resolution. But my New Year's resolution is really just to educate myself. That's my approach. And I am finding that by educating myself, I'm learning more about how things work, and I'm losing weight. I've lost over 7 pounds in the past month, which isn't huge, but for me, I can see it in my face. I can
Yeah.
feel it in my body, and I'm excited about where I'm going to be 6 months from now. I feel like I'll be healthier.
I'll
Yeah.
probably
That's all
be
it's
here
about.
6 months from now.
Yeah, so will
7
I.
pounds is huge.
Well-
Don't be like it's not huge. That's huge.
It's a great achievement for sure. Yeah. No, and I feel great about it. I'm not downplaying that at all.
That's
I'm
a-
just
yeah.
like, it's not like I lost 20 pounds in a week. No, like some
No,
people
but
do that.
still,
No, I'm just
7 pounds.
I
Is,
haven't done anything other than change just my knowledge.
but that's what,
Yeah.
about 4% for you? 7 pounds?
I don't know. Don't
Wow.
make me do math today, Jeff. Please don't.
See, for me,
But-
7 pounds.
Whatever it is for you, I just encourage you to check out the technologies that are available. If you've ever had trouble with if it's weight loss or if it's like keeping the New Year's resolution, there's tech that's available, like the fitness tracker, like that scale that is encouraging me by giving me information about like BMI and stuff that I didn't know about before. My metabolic age, I've lost 2 years off my metabolic age, so I'm now 2 years younger in the past month, so that's huge. So those kinds of things are really good encouragements, and they'll help you to be able to achieve the goals just by educating you and helping you to see how the things that you choose to eat and do are affecting your health. So it's working for me so far, so maybe it will work for you too. Get into Biggest Loser on our Discord channel. So go on to category5.tv, join our Discord under Interact, and you'll see Biggest Loser there. It's pretty fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
I really want to get into the feature.
Well, we've got to take a break first, Jeff, and then when we get back, Jeff has got something for you, folks. So stick around.
I have
Okay.
a really cool video of
Yes, and that's
Crimson Fang.
B-roll. It's going
Yeah.
on top.
Crimson Fang fight, Jeff. You can see how how hardcore the workout is.
So don't forget, if you're watching this live, watch the on-demand version, because you're going to see video of Sasha beating up Crimson Fang.
and then collapsing to the
VR.
floor.
Oh, and then collapsing to the floor.
Good times.
It's only 2 minutes long. I don't know. All right.
Oh. Now my next opponent is Scurvy Jones.
Ooh.
He's a pirate.
Sounds like it.
Scurvy Jones.
Scurvy Jones. He has a hook on his left hand, like a left hook.
Does he throw a left hook?
And also a sword.
Ooh.
You are kind of going to use this space, so
Yes.
just kind of be mindful of that. You might want to move things over a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's why I'm finishing the
Mhm.
coffee.
Oh, before we start, I'm going to pour water into my coffee cup.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, chat room. I'm not going to be able to reach in Discord because I got other stuffs to do.
Marshman said that the sound is dull and flat and lifeless.
Oh, that's good.
Flat and lifeless. Oh, well.
It will be so much better.
That's what I
One,
said.
when I have the compressor set up, but two, when I post-process in the audio from the board. Because it's ISO. Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's working great. Okay, all set?
Yes.
Yes. Do we, the sucker's locked down tight. Do we have like scissors or something or a little knife?
A box
Yeah,
cutter?
got box cutter.
Yeah.
So the extra pack of cables is because it only comes with certain cables, and some of them are Apple cables, and I don't have Apple devices, so
No.
so I bought an extra pack of USB micro because most of our devices are just Android phones and stuff. Makes sense?
Yep.
So this goes like this,
Okay.
and then closes down.
Cool.
Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV. I have 3 kids at home. We all have devices. My wife,
Yep.
myself. I've got a phone in my pocket at all times, except at night when I need to charge it.
Mm-hmm.
My kids each have, we have a variety of phones that the kids share for video games and for chatting and things like that. So there's always stuff hanging out of wall outlets.
Oh my
We've got a
goodness.
wall wart with a cable and people fighting over, hey, he's using my charger, and
Yeah.
always. It's just the way it is. So,
Yep.
Jeff, you talked about a couple weeks ago how you've come up with a solution for kind of centralizing your charging station, and it really made
Yes.
me think. And I started looking, and I found a pretty fantastic device that I think you're going to show us today.
The G cord. Yeah. So I mean, you're right. I do have another device. It's not the G cord. I bought it around Christmas time,
Yeah.
and it is a 6-bank docking station that allows the kids to place their phones. But we have, again, 3 kids, but between them, they have their old phones and their new phones.
Right. Yeah.
They don't want to give up the old phones because, well, my Minecraft files are on that old phone.
Yeah.
So all in all, I think there's like 6 phones and 2 tablets. And,
Sure.
And it's like there's same deal, chargers everywhere. And then
Everywhere.
one goes missing. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. But we also had the issue of they were sneaking them at night. We're like, we need a centralized location where it's like, I know where they all are. So we got this charging port and they all just sit there. And so, yeah, it's been great. And
So does this
is
have
what
that
you've
feature
done.
where if the kids grab it after 9, it zaps them?
No,
Ah,
that
would
is frowned upon.
feature request.
It deletes all of your files.
There you go.
if
Hey,
That's
that's
right.
what I'm telling the kids.
Oh.
If you touch the phone after 9 while it's on the charging station, it will delete everything.
That's a great one.
Ooh,
I
there
like
you
that.
go.
I like that. No,
A charging station sounds like a great idea for me because it puts everything in one place and it gets rid of all the cable clutter.
yes.
So can
Yeah.
we see what you
Yeah.
have here?
Okay, so this is from G-Cord. It is a 6-port, 10-amp USB charging station. Now, I will say right off the hop, what caught me off guard from the box is at the side it says quad USB. Like, but it's 6-port.
Okay.
Why is it quad USB? It's because you've got different types of USB. So there is there's 3-piece 8-pin, there's 2-piece micro USB, and then 1 Type-C.
Oh.
Interestingly enough.
So my phone is Type-C, but mine is the only one that's Type-C within our household. Everything else is USB micro.
Right.
Although there is one Apple device which uses the old Apple interface.
Yeah, I don't think we have
So-
any Apple at home.
So,
all right, I'm
it
gonna
came with some cables?
It does come with
That's
some
it?
cables.
Okay.
But I'm going to open this up. So I'm just
Okay.
going to slice through that and place that over here. So what do we have in here? Starts with...
I like that it's 10 amps. So you've got
Yeah.
like one cable going to the outlet, and you don't have to have like a whole bunch of chargers, right? It's just one thing.
The box is empty.
Nice.
All right. So it is a 6-port or 6-channel. So, all right, to start with, here's your various cables.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so these are. Oh.
Yeah,
so
so
it
you-
came with little short, like
Okay.
1 foot
Yes.
1 foot cables. These are. I've got a USB-C and 2 USB micros.
Yep.
So they're just nice little short cables.
And
tied
these
with a
are
tie
all
wrap.
of your Apple connections.
Okay.
Oh.
So it came with it. So these are just like for your Android phones.
Yep.
And then these
would
are
be
for
your
Apple.
phones. So if you are using this, but if you are using this and all you have is Android, 3 is not going to be enough. So you need to make
Right.
sure that you've got the right.
Okay, so when you
Connection.
buy this, what do you do, Jeff?
You buy some extra ones.
look at
Oh, and they're color coded.
Yeah, so we got some nice color-coded ones, which my kids would absolutely love because then they'd be able to say, well, I've got the pink one, I've got the blue one, and, you know, it solves everybody's problems based on the color coding.
Perfect.
Things you have to do to, like, stop fights at home. It's crazy.
Oh, those are nice too.
So, yeah,
Okay.
these are very nice.
All right.
These do not come with it, so you have to buy separately, so whatever works for you.
So we got 3 with it. Well, 2 USB micro and 1 USB-C.
Yes.
And then we've got a bunch, just a pack, assorted pack here. Now, everything that you see is available at cat5.tv/charger.
Yep.
You're right. These are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Check
they are
those
very
out.
nice.
These are like wound, woven, those nice cables, but they're color-coded, so the kids will love that.
All right, so I have unboxed.
All right.
'Kay.
Really what we have is you have the base unit.
Mm-hmm. Is there a power cord? I'll plug in the power
yeah.
cord while you're describing
You have
this.
the power cord. You have the instructions that are just
Not
simple fold-out.
a wall wart.
No.
Just so you know.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
is just going to go right into your outlet nicely.
And your plastic plexi dividers. So
Cool.
these are like heavily sealed. Separate these puppies somehow.
Use your teeth.
It's like air compressed.
Oh, wow.
They're vacuum sealed.
Yeah, vacuum sealed. Oh my god. Oh, here we go. This one. Oh, they're not vacuum sealed. They're just stuck on
stickers.
either side. Yeah.
Okay.
My goodness, that one feels vacuum sealed.
This has got power now, Jeff.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, I'm not going to plug it in yet because I'm going to be playing around with these. But
All right.
is there a special way these go in? It does not look. Oh, yes, there is. Okay. So you can't really see it, but there's little notches here, which prevents you from putting this in backwards. So if I do that, it's not going in because there's
Okay.
little
Yeah.
nobules there. Is that a word? Ooh.
Nobules.
And then it clicks in.
Perfect.
So it'll come
Oh.
out. All right. Grab another one.
Do you want me to help?
Here, I can help.
Yeah, sure.
Here, do you want to?
Yeah.
You do the.
There
All
we
right.
go.
This takes 3, folks. It's
This
teamwork.
is crazy. How many
Invite some friends over.
techies does it take to put dividers on a cell phone
Here you go.
charging station?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so we can get 2 phones in there.
Look at this team action.
So much
happening.
faster. 4.
I'm so
I can't get
competitive.
into this
I'm
one.
Like,
See,
so
This one
I
is
win,
death.
I win. Okay.
See, so
Give me another one.
Like here, this is the one I struggled with.
Okay.
All right. Getting these suckers in there.
I feel like if you're the person who changes the garbage
Nice.
at home and then you need to open the bag, the new bag that's all stuck together, you know
Yes.
the trick.
All right.
Alright.
Last one's going in.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
There.
USB-C.
It has been
for my-
assembled.
Okay.
Okay, so right away what I can see on it, you have your physical switch button for power.
Yeah.
Your connectors are all on one side. Interestingly enough. So the unit I have at home, the connectors are on either side. So I've
Oh.
got 3 and 3.
Oh.
What I like about that is it prevents all the cords from jumbling up on one side.
Right.
This one, they're all on one side. So your device is going to have to sit, because it's a short cable, with the charging port going that way. So depending
Okay.
on any case you have on your phone or anything like that, it may cause problems. But just for plugging it in, oops, of course.
It's
every
USB. You got to do it
Yep.
3 different ways.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it just sticks in quite simply.
All right.
Let's
Cool.
find the one for...
This is pretty simple tech, folks, but
yeah.
Yeah.
it really, I did a USB-C for my phone.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
It's already connected to my phone because I thought, hey, we can
So
actually try, like, see if
plugging it in.
see if it explodes or if it charges. It's going to do one of those 2 things.
So
Yeah, those are the only 2 options.
You're going to learn one day the way to plug it in.
I know.
So that
I
you
thought
only
I
have to do
figured
it
out,
once?
but I haven't. So, okay. So that is plugged in. The
Yeah.
charge or the actual power cable connects here to the side.
I do like
And-
that it's just a single power cord and then just a couple of...
Oh, is it charging
So
right now? Yeah.
It is.
Did it come on?
Yeah, it did.
It is charging. So I've powered it on.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see that. Oh, no, it was off. Now it's on because the blue light's kicked on.
Oh, neat.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah,
See
can you
this
guys see that
little blue
on-
light right there?
I don't know if I were to dim the lighting in the studio here, I don't know if you'd be able to see that a little bit better.
Oh, maybe. Tip
Perhaps.
it up, Jeff.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Little
can see
bit.
the blue
See
light
it.
now. And when I turn it
Oh,
off,
I noticed that it's only... The blue light is only on the one that... The 2 that are plugged in.
Oh.
oh, look at that. Look at you, you observant fella. So yeah, okay. So you've got the power and then the one that it's
So
plugged
let's
in.
plug in more
That's
and see
cool.
what happens.
So let's see,
Plug
I wanna
everything
find
in.
the connector
Got
that
your phone?
works for
Where's your phone?
my
I can get my phone.
What are you looking for? C?
Yeah.
I only have one C.
All right.
You got to buy the right cables, folks.
But there's one that
find
came
find
with
the
it, right?
one. Well, I'm using it on my phone.
But
My
where's
phone's
these
C.
threaded ones?
Those are all C. USB micro.
Oh, okay. So you didn't get a
Yep.
diversified pack. Okay, fine.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's test it this way. If I move the connector to another port,
Yeah. It
you're-
did.
Yes, it
I
lights
was
up the
bang
one that's
on.
charging.
Look
okay.
at that. Cool.
Look at that.
So we
Sasha,
actually see
okay.
the blue lights up.
Oh,
USB-C as well.
yeah. USB-C. Sorry, Sasha.
Nice.
What?
Okay. So
Oh,
it
now I have my
is
phone.
in there. It is charging.
This one has, I believe, built-in surge protection and stuff like that.
It
Like
does.
that's one of the concerns
yes.
that you have.
So it has built-in surge protection. It also has intelligent charging with overvoltage, overcharge, and overcurrent protection.
Nice.
Mine does not have that.
Mm.
And truthfully, when I was looking for a banking station, that wasn't something I was thinking of. I just wanted
Right.
the ability to have all the phones.
multi-power ports.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a nice, very nice feature. And it is 10 amp, 50 watt total power. What I don't see though is fast charge.
I don't see that either, and it's a good comment because that's one of the questions we're going to get. So
Yeah.
no, it looks like it's just straight, like just
Regular charge.
regular charge power.
Yep. Now,
This particular one. Now I'm sure those exist, but I mean we're talking about charging 6 devices simultaneously.
which is pretty impressive.
It's pretty good from a single power. I also like the stability of this one, Jeff.
It's very solid, doesn't move. Now, one thing I noticed about the one that I had at home, for the life of me, I can't think of the model or the brand that it is.
There's
I
a
know-
lot out there. Like just,
Oh, there's tons, yeah.
Search for them.
But what I wanted to check with yours is the gap between the placement spots.
Oh.
So my phone has a bit of a dip on the back.
Right.
Where
it's a bit
it-
thicker.
Yeah, it is thicker. And so your phone sits quite nicely. It's leaned back.
Good.
When I put mine in, because of that, it sits up
Does that-
pretty much.
Okay. Does that?
Now,
Does
it
that
can
matter?
go
Is that
forward.
Is that bothersome?
Well, what it does create a problem is if if you're trying to organize all your devices succinctly, it doesn't work as well if one of them's falling forward. It bounces them all around, especially
Do you
if you've
color
got tablets.
code your phones when you put them in the charger?
No, but for the one I have at home, I have to do it in a certain order because of the different case sizes. Otherwise, one goes forward, they all fall.
Oh, okay.
If you've got a
Domino.
tablet, it knocks them out. So
Oh, okay.
be aware of that. Like
So
my
there's all
phone
these
is
things that you
sitting
wouldn't
straight
even
up.
think about. Yeah.
Exactly, because of the gap. I mean, that's finger width. That's it.
Right.
So it's not like it's a big gap. If you have a
Mind the
tablet,
gap.
your tablet's going to sit fairly
Pretty
high
snug.
up. Yeah. So be aware of that. But otherwise, that's a nice little. Yeah. Okay, this sucker's small. Any guesses? Any guesses? iPod first generation.
Nice. Sweet.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't even like when they came with the like full touchscreen, but that fits quite nicely. But yeah, I mean, if you have a tablet or something, it's going to sit a little bit higher, and you could see like mine is back on an angle now because that little knob is not there. But if you had a tablet with a thicker case, it's going to sit straight up. There's no give, and the chance with that is if you accidentally bump it, you could potentially break the plastic. So just be aware.
Oh
of that.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, I guess.
like-
but I mean, you're going to find a safe place to put this kind of a device.
yeah.
Plain and simple.
So, but it keeps it in a centralized location and allows you, especially if you have multiple devices at your home, to organize everything. You have all your phones there. You know, maybe you've got young kids and it's like, get off the phone. That's your spot where you go, this is
Yeah.
the phone charging sport.
yeah.
It's not in the rooms at night. It's a central location. You know where every phone is. And it's like, oh, you didn't plug it in. It's not
This
there.
is kind of what I'm thinking. Like if this works as a great charger, which it looks like it's fantastic for this, as a parent, I'm going to hide every other charger in the house.
Yes.
And it's
And
just,
stick it to here.
okay, when your phone's dead, put it on the charger.
I know.
The
Because
charger.
we've
There's just one.
updated to one of, something like this at home.
Yeah.
I have so many wall connectors now. I'm like, what am I doing
You
with
need
all
more
this?
Raspberry Pis.
That's exactly what I need. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's
I mean,
great. Thanks, Jeff.
it comes with a
Thank you.
1-year limited warranty, which is kind of nice. Normal wear and tear, seals, abuse, misuse not covered, damage. Trying to see if there's anything else that's important to mention from the instructions. I'm not seeing it.
I like that it has the
That's it.
surge protection and everything else because your wall wart, how many times have you just plugged your phone into the wall?
Well, exactly.
And
yeah.
what happens if there's a power surge or something?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a bonus as well.
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, that's it. It is the G-Cord 6-port 10 amp USB charging station, specifically the black color.
There you go.
So
Go to cat5.tv/charger if you're interested in that particular one, or of course follow that link, and then you can find various alternatives as well. Amazon's kind of cool that way. You'll see some of the other options that are similar but different. If you need quick charge, then I guess that would be really the deciding factor. This one does feel like it's really like
It
quite
does feel pretty
quite
solid.
sturdy,
yeah.
and I say that like it really does.
Yeah.
It feels
Oh,
sturdy.
you
It
know
feels
what?
really good.
I didn't even notice it. It's got like rubber grip pads in there.
Yeah, I felt that when I put my phone
So, you know, which is kind of nice, holds the phone in place.
in. Mm-hmm.
So that's okay.
Cool.
I will say, in having used one of these now, there's one thing that makes me go, you could take this to the next level.
That
by-
zapping feature.
Well, the zapping feature would be
By
amazing.
going cordless.
Well, actually, cordless would be kind of cool if these had cordless charging plates. But no,
Oh, yeah.
to allow one USB that does data sync for a computer. So all 6 would be plugged in. You plug it into your computer, and it allows
So
for
you want it
multiple-
to be a hub as well.
How cool would
a
that
powered
be?
hub.
Yes. That would be a nice feature.
I guess.
But I think that's a whole new level.
But yeah, but then every phone would show up as a hard drive when you plug in your charger.
No, but think about nightly syncs. Like you got all your family's phones.
Back
so
up your family phones.
Yeah.
that would be a neat feature. I guess
that'd be kind of cool. I don't know if any of the devices do it, but I mean, now that I've used one of these, I'm like, that would be a cool feature to have.
Yeah,
Next level.
Yeah. All
patent
the good
that.
ideas.
Patent
right
that,
there.
Jeff.
You heard it here.
All right,
Yeah.
we've got to take a really quick break, folks. When we come back, I'm going to be showing you an app that allows you to create app-like browser windows on a modern Linux system. Stick around.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to throw this.
I
to
like
it.
that. I think that looks pretty sleek.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very nice.
What do you think?
I want one, but I mean, I don't have multiple
Oh,
phones
man, I
in
got
my
so
house.
many devices at home.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Although right now, none of our devices are being used at home.
Oh no.
No. We finally said, kids, you need a break from electronics. Computer, TV, PlayStation, Xbox,
And we
phones,
shall
tablets.
bake our own bread.
It's been amazing. You know what's happened? The fights have gone down. The
Oh.
creativity's gone up. The book reading has gone up. The physical activity's gone up. It's like, okay, I like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like giving up tech.
Oh, you had to give it up too.
No.
Oh,
No,
what?
No, Dad doesn't have to. What are you talking
I don't have a
about?
problem fighting with the kids. they have a problem.
Wow.
So you have to hide from them when you're using it?
There you
No,
go.
no, I put it right out there. I'm like, look, I just need 5
Cool,
minutes.
right? Cool, right?
I got to
That
answer
is
some
so
emails.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow. You bring that home, making it happen?
Yeah, I'm going to see if the kids take to it.
It would be neat if there was a way to like to open that thing up inside, somehow connect like an SBC to it so that every time something's disconnected, it logs it. Like for my
Why,
purposes,
Jeff?
where like
Why?
my
Yes.
kids would sneak the phones at night.
Oh, I see.
And that way I can be like, oh, look, 3 o'clock in the morning. Somebody grabbed their phone.
Just have them power off the
Who
phone.
has that much energy to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Why don't you just set up MAC address
Kids who want to be
blocking?
on their because it's not about the internet blockage. Because there's lots of offline games that they can use.
Oh.
That's
It's
the
about
issue.
like the visual stimulation
That's
at 3
correct.
I
o'clock in the
see.
morning
Yeah.
wanting to play a game?
Yep.
Instead of sleeping gloriously in bed?
Yep.
With not a care in the world because you're
Yep.
a child?
Yep.
They've got it wrong.
Yeah, not in their eyes. They got it right.
Yeah.
Like, he has nugget. So,
All right. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Can I switch to laptop? Yay.
good
Nice.
times.
And nothing changes when you do?
What do you mean changes?
I don't know. Audio. Remember when that used to happen?
No?
Okay.
I smucked my glasses. I got a big fingerprint. I just need
Oh, okay.
like Kleenex or something.
Well, there's toilet paper in the bathroom. I don't
That's
have
what
a,
that's-
I don't have any lint free. There's also paper towel under the sink, which might be a bit better.
Yeah, I'll use
I
toilet.
bought bamboo paper towels, like reusable bamboo paper towels.
Oh yes.
So you can wash them
Seen
like
that.
200 times or something, and then when you're done with them, you can just
I feel like they're using bamboo
compost
for
them.
everything nowadays. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I like it. Bamboo is cool. But it's lint free. That's where I was going with that. So now I use that to clean my glasses.
Do either of you use any online services that are like apps? Like an online editor, or I use like Google Docs, for example. So
Yeah,
that would be my best.
I use Google Docs, things like Reddit. I don't know
Yeah,
if that's what you're
okay.
looking for.
Sure. Something like that.
Okay.
Mm.
Trying to think what I use. But
For me, it's going to be like
yeah, Google
QuickBooks.
Docs.
G Suite. QuickBooks Online, yeah, that's a good example. Yeah.
Yeah.
So think of those, because
Okay.
we'll use those. These days, we're surrounded by things like Chromebooks, Pinebook Pros, and devices. I mean, the Chromebook is the perfect example of a device that utilizes the internet as an app infrastructure.
Right.
So I think about things like my Google Drive and Google Docs and Google Sheets and how those are very fast becoming my applications for doing things like document editing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't install Microsoft Office anymore.
No.
Right.
I use in my browser my Google Docs.
That's what I
Right.
use.
That's how I do it.
Even Microsoft, like Word and all that, they've got online
Yeah,
browser-based.
like Outlook has gone into the cloud. It's
Mhm.
like a browser-based thing. But so these are all things that they used to be applications on our computer, and now they're progressively becoming more and more cloud-driven. And that means they are accessible through your web browser. But there's kind of like that old school feel about having the native app on your computer. Having,
Yes.
to do it in your web browser feels like you're going on a website. To do it in the app feels like you're opening a program, and there's less screen real estate that's wasted to things like the address bar,
Yes.
Yeah.
and bookmarks, and that kind of stuff.
Prime example, QuickBooks Online.
Perfect
I
example.
use that for an
Yeah.
organization that I'm with, and it's funny because I have it installed on the computer,
Yeah.
but then I can also log in and use it online on my personal computer.
Mhm.
Looks exactly the same, runs exactly the same.
Yeah.
But even psychologically within my head, I'm like, I would rather use the app
Right.
because it's the app.
It's a web browser, and you've got the address bar and everything
Yeah.
else. So there have been applications, and browsers themselves have things like app mode and abilities to create a bit more of a native feel to websites,
Right.
so that they feel more like native apps. But it's never really been solidified as a standard. So what rises up and then fizzles away. Like Firefox used to have a great mechanism for doing this, for creating an app kind of window for your browser sessions, but it got discontinued. So then it just fizzled out. But Peppermint OS has done something incredible with a tool that they call ICE. And ICE is, so what they call this is SSB, which is a site-specific browser. But the interface is really unique in that it is specifically, it's not a web browser that allows you to save an icon to your desktop that simply opens that website every time you double click on it. No, it creates launchers on your Linux computer that look like they look like a native application. It removes all of that browser stuff around the edges and everything else.
Oh, very cool.
But they've made it very, very simple. But I'm not using Peppermint.
Okay.
I'm actually using Linux Mint. And on Linux Mint, which is a Debian derivative, it's also it's based on Ubuntu, and this will go for Ubuntu. What I want to show you is for any Debian-based distro. So that's Debian, obviously, Ubuntu, Mint, Linux Mint. So I'm on Linux Mint 19, and it's fine for me to do those this on any of those distros. Okay, so I'm going to jump into my web browser, my current one, which is Google Chrome, and I'm going to jump over to, now observe this URL that I'm going to type in here, peppermintos.com/guide/ice. And when I bring that up, here we go, an introduction to site-specific browsers. They've got a great example there with the Pixel Editor, which is a web-based image editor, but by using ICE, it looks like a native app on the computer.
It really does.
How sweet is that? The interface is stellar. But because I'm not on Peppermint OS, it's not available on my distro, right? However, Peppermint OS is open source.
Right.
It's Debian-based. If you've got a Debian-based machine, you're able to install the things that they have open sourced and compiled for their distro on my distro. So here I am on Linux Mint. Let's see if this is going to work for us. So we're going to grab the source from, not the source, but a binary packages from launchpad.net/tilde peppermint/archive/ubuntu/ice-dev/plus packages. And this takes us to the packages folder for the ICE development from the Peppermint OS team. And you see the latest version at the time of this broadcast is version 6.0.7, I should say. So I'm going to click on that, and let's take a look at what we have here. We've got packages and builds. Here's a build for AMD 64. So because I am on a 64-bit Intel processor, I'm okay to click on that and download the build. There's the Debian package right there. And here it comes. I'm going to keep that file. And then I'm going to click on it. Presumably DPKG is going to try to launch it and ask me what I want to do. What is this? Web app integration for Peppermint ICE. Front end, blah, blah, blah. Install package. Gotta love the way Linux makes installers these days.
Yeah, it's so much easier than the default where you used to have to log into terminal.
Yeah. Compiling from source. I mean, you can do that, so maybe you're not on AMD 64 and you need to compile. All right, so that's done. What's changed? Close everything out. Nothing's changed. So I'm going to click on here and I'm going to type in ICE. And lo and behold, there's an application now on my computer called ICE. And just like that, I've got my simple, what is it called? SSB is site-specific browser. They call it a simple site-specific browser manager. Okay, so it's this easy to create launchers. And when I say a launcher, I'm talking, you know how onerous it can be to add things to like your internet category here? Let's say we want to turn YouTube into an app. Okay. So let's call this YouTube. And the URL is https://youtube.com. And where on the menu? I'm actually not going to put it in internet, even though it's a website. I'm going to put it in multimedia.
Ooh.
Wow.
What do I want the icon to look like? I'm going to try this use site fave icon. I have yet to see that work. It doesn't seem to work. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to click on my browser and I'm going to type YouTube icon. I'm going to jump into images. I'm going to click on tools. I'm going to click on color. I'm going to choose transparent. Then I'm going to grab a transparent YouTube icon. It doesn't have a background. I'm going to save that to my computer. I'm going to throw that into pictures. I'm going to make a folder called icons and save it there. Done. Now I have a file that quickly. So go into my home, into, where did I put it? Pictures? Where's pictures? There it is. Okay. Icons, YouTube. All right, so now I've chosen the YouTube icon. There we go.
Do I
notice it will support Chrome, Chromium, Vivaldi, or Firefox. So that's the back end it's going to use. Then it also, so I'm going to choose Chrome because that's my browser. Okay. It's detected that I also have Firefox on here, but I don't use it. Create an SSB with an isolated browser profile. That means that within this app, if you will, you are not going to, it's not going to share the session with your real browser. So if I've logged into YouTube in Chrome, if I don't have that checked, it will also, it will be logged in the app.
So it's almost like an incognito mode, sort of.
But it will, no, it's more like its own profile.
Okay.
So you can log into your YouTube profile, but it will only be logged in there. So then, so by contrast, in Chrome, you will not be logged in.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
So you can choose, and feel free to play with that setting. See what way you want it to be. So I'm going to say, yes, I want this to be an isolated browser with Chrome. And I'm going to go apply. Well, again, it doesn't seem to have done anything. But if I click on my Linux Mint menu and I go into sound and video, I now see a button called YouTube.
No way.
Click on it. These things, let's uncheck these things just because, because remember, it's created a new profile.
Right.
So I'm going to say OK. And now I'm going to close that just because now that I've done that, I want to show you from scratch now that I've turned off those things. So sound and video, YouTube, it's not going to ask me those things again. Okay. So YouTube is now its own window. Its own app. It's going to behave very, very much like an app, but it's using Chrome as its backend.
Right.
So if you find that Chrome performs better than Firefox, choose Chrome. If you find it's the other way around, use Firefox.
Right.
If you want to remove one of those launchers from your menu, so say I want to remove YouTube, I can actually go to Remove tab in ICE, highlight it, and click on Remove, and that will actually get rid of it. You can do as many of these as you want if you want to add like a Category 5 TV. Let's say maybe you want to do the live, Category 5 live. So let's do that. Let's go live.cat5.tv. So then whenever, and you'll probably want our icon for the sake of the speed of tonight's demonstration. I'm not going to do that right now, but you already saw how to do that. URL error. What did I do wrong? An error with the web address has been detected. This is possibly the site. Let's try it just to see. Okay, so Category 5 Live is under sound and video. There it is up there. Again, turn these things off. Oh, I put like a underscore or something, but it's still working. So now I've got a launcher for Category 5 when we're live. So when we're live, we can, boom, there we go.
Wow.
Inception, right?
That's super, super easy.
How cool is that? So it is super, super easy, really quick, works really well, it's effective, and it's supported, it's open source, and it's available on any Debian distro just like that with a DEB file. It's already compiled for AMD 64, and I think you'll find other compiles there as well if you dig through.
Nice.
So check that out. It's called ICE, and it's from the folks who bring us Peppermint OS. Thank you for that. That's a great tool.
It is great.
Yeah. Cool. Another thing you may want to add to your launchers is the Category5.tv newsroom.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Immediately, in fact.
And now double click on it because it's time. Sasha, are you ready?
Yes.
So am I.
In post-production.
But the the teleprompter on the other hand is like, oh, you haven't turned on the teleprompter in weeks, so you need to update this and do that, and no, there's no Wi-Fi because you've turned it off. And
so then, do we just bring it back after your screen there so it's seamless?
Yeah. So she said, yeah, I'm ready, and then it's going to zoom in on her. So we're not seen at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't see us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what's coming up in the Category5.tv newsroom. Microsoft no longer sees PlayStation makers Sony and Nintendo as the biggest competition for its Xbox platform, and you won't believe who they see as their biggest threat. An artist tricked Google into thinking that there were major traffic jams by pulling a wagon filled with smartphones down empty streets. ARM is getting edgy with 2 new processor designs which bring slimline AI workloads to smart speakers and other Internet of Things devices. And Windows Trust in Abandoned Driver code lets ransomware burrow deep into targeted machines. Stick around, the full details are coming up later in the show. I did it.
Nailed it.
Betterer this week than last week. But there's still time for me to.
Oh, yeah. We got plenty of time to screw up.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking, I'm like drinking my coffee and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I got to talk now.
Yeah,
so
that's right. Okay,
yeah,
hold
this
on.
is exactly what's going to happen.
Excuse me.
I know. I've got the
Don't you
yawns
start
today
that.
too. What is that?
Oh my goodness.
I've been trying to stifle them. It's not show based. I think it's like my body stands still, and then it's like, what? Is it sleep time?
I'm still.
Exactly. Shutting down.
Yes. My coffee is so cold. Like it's like an iced coffee.
I actually, when I finished my coffee before and then poured my water from my water bottle into this cup, I was like, my water is actually warmer than my coffee was.
Yeah.
Somehow that's a real thing.
Sorry, Marshman. And for those of you who aren't aware of what's going on with the sound, the compressor is not in the chain right now. That's happening this weekend. But the recordings locally are isolated, so the post-processed version of the show is going to sound fantastic. It's a different unit altogether, so just keep that in mind. And it will be improved next week. It's just that all of the audio has been redone.
Yeah, you know, we're just growing, getting more awesomer as
That's
every
the
day.
plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every day goes by.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we're going to do feature C today because I think we're going to run out of time.
Okay.
We always
Just so
run
you know.
out of time.
Yeah.
But it's really nice that we think that feature C will ever be a thing.
Yes. That's very
Feel
nice.
bad for poor little middle child feature C.
Last week we fit in the giveaway, so that was good.
Yes.
Sure.
All right, you set?
Mm-hmm. I'm Sasha Rickman, joined this week by Jeff Weston and Robbie Ferguson.
All right, some quick honorable mentions this week. A hacker crew managed to temporarily take control of Facebook's official Twitter account. The irony. In a tweet posted on February 7th at 3:50 p.m. on the official @Facebook Twitter feed, the attacker posted, "Hi, we are Ourmine. Well, even Facebook is hackable, but at least their security better than Twitter." They then went on to advertise their services, saying to contact them in order to, quote, improve your account security, unquote. Ourmine did not say how they got into the social network's Twitter account, but no self-respecting hacker would ever pass up the opportunity to blast Facebook's security practices. According to a draft research paper from the astronomers who are analyzing it, a mysterious radio signal from space that was first detected in Canada appears to repeat at regular 16-day intervals. The unusual signal, which has been traced back to a spiral galaxy roughly 500 million light years from Earth, is known as a fast radio burst, aka FRB. It has been fascinating astronomers since Canada's CHIME telescope first detected it in 2018. Scientists have discovered hundreds of seemingly random one-off FRBs over the last decade, but only a handful of them have been found to repeat. Now, here's the thing. This particular signal is not only repeating, but it appears to be sent out at regular intervals. The signal starts, and let me just say, this is not sci-fi, this is really reality. The signal starts every 16.35 days. It lasts for 4 days and then falls silent for 12 days before starting up again. According to the paper, that is a recurring schedule. The number of bursts within each 4-day blast varied each time according to 409 days worth of data that was compiled by CHIME. The study authors say in their abstract, quote, "Our results suggest a mechanism for periodic modulation and disfavor models invoking purely sporadic processes." In other words, and this is not a quote, so the quote is over, But in other words, the signal is not repeating at random, okay? So they say that the source may be flickering at regular intervals, or some other factor might be interrupting the signal blasts in a consistent pattern. Orbits come to mind for me, like that could be part of it, for sure. But if their findings are confirmed, the discovery would be another first in the early study of FRBs, which have only been known to science for a relatively short period of time. Called the ultimate ARM-powered NAS, Helios 64 is accepting pre-orders discounted for the first 500. Helios 64 is a full-fledged Linux-powered NAS solution that offers built-in features that you will not find in any other product at this price point. It supports up to 80 terabytes of data storage in 5 hot-swappable drive bays, plus support for a single M.2 for applications that demand extra performance. For connectivity, it uses the new multi-gigabit speed standard on dual LAN ports. They offer up to 2.5 gigabits per second throughput. The NAS uses an ARM64 hexacore SoC. It features 4 gigabytes of RAM and a 16 gigabyte eMMC for OS storage and booting. Now, it's a NAS that's basically behaving like a Linux computer. So because the Helios 64 is open source, once it's released, we're going to begin seeing distributions created specifically for this hardware. The Helios 64 was slated for release as early as next month, but with factory shutdowns due to the coronavirus, the first shipments will be delayed. An ETA update will be provided by the company once factory lines are allowed to reopen in China, but we estimate it to be late spring or possibly early summer. Pre-orders are discounted to just, are you ready for this? $285.
Wow.
To the first 500 orders. And you can place that order now at cobol.io.
Let's get into the top stories we're following this week. Microsoft no longer sees PlayStation maker Sony and Nintendo as the biggest competition for its Xbox platform. Phil Spencer, Microsoft's head of gaming, said he now considered Amazon and Google as his top rivals because of their cloud computing infrastructure. He believes their traditional rivals, Nintendo and Sony, are out of step with the future of gaming. He said, quote, "When you talk about Nintendo and Sony, we have a ton of respect for them, but we see Amazon and Google as the main competitors going forward. That's not to disrespect Nintendo and Sony, but the traditional gaming companies are somewhat out of position," end quote. With cloud gaming, players don't need to buy a games console. Instead, the games are run on servers in huge data centers with the footage streamed over the internet to a TV, computer, smartphone, or a tablet. It means players don't need to buy discs or download games and software updates, which can take a long time. Google entered the home gaming market in 2019 with its Stadia streaming service. The company's vast cloud computing business means that it has the necessary infrastructure in place, but critics say the lineup of games on Stadia is currently sparse. While Amazon and Apple offer games on their app stores and Apple offers a monthly subscription, they don't currently offer a cloud gaming service. However, Amazon also operates an enormous cloud computing business and is rumored to be developing a game service. Sony has offered its PlayStation Now cloud gaming service since 2014, letting gamers stream more than 700 titles to a PS4 console or PC. However, it currently streams games in 720p resolution. By contrast, Google Stadia can stream its games at up to 4K resolution. NVIDIA has officially launched its GeForce Now streaming service after months of testing, and both Sony and Microsoft have already announced that they are still working on new games consoles for home.
It totally demonstrates the shift
Yes.
in how things are being, how technology is being provisioned.
I feel old, I guess, in the fact that my brain doesn't get it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm still really locked into consoles.
Well, it's mind bending. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've been sold for so many years that the biggest, most powerful console is going to give you the best gaming experience. Now we're being told, oh, well, you can do it on your phone. You can do it on this little $100 device. You can do it on anything. Oh, and then you can transition over to your computer, which doesn't even have to be a good computer. It can be a Chromebook.
Yeah.
Right.
What?
I think the difference, though, and I mean, admittedly, I have not explored Google and Amazon's gaming services, so I can't speak from firsthand knowledge.
Sure.
But the ability to go offline is what separates the two.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
But
that-
when are,
yes.
but maybe that's the idea, is that we're never offline anymore.
Well,
Well, and sure we are, but do we really? But when we're at that point, it's just we're always connected, Jeff.
But that
we're
is
always connected these days.
You're right. We are always connected, but that's
5G,
but
6G.
that's an assumption of necessary connectivity. Like we see this with our kids all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They play games that are not online. It's downloaded, and that's it. Like
Sure, yeah.
Minecraft is a great one for kids that are younger, where they're playing Minecraft. It's not going online. I mean, you could go to Realms and stuff, but the difference here is
Yeah.
if you're gonna go with the cloud-based computer gaming services, you're stuck to a couple of things. You're stuck to what they offer from the choices and the graphics and all that kind of stuff, which I think, again, I don't know from firsthand, would be subpar compared to what you can pull out of, say, you know, an Xbox One S or, you know, a PlayStation 5 with
Yeah.
their graphics. I mean, I can't see playing like Red Dead Redemption 2 on my phone.
you can't
you're
see it
partly
because you
right.
haven't seen it yet.
Let me
but
just
I like-
say,
okay.
Still,
from the technological perspective,
everything's going cloud.
yes, but the quality. So you're saying, will it look as good? So the quality is not the video. The video is my TV is 1080p, so it's 1920 by 1080p, regardless of how powerful my system is or
Right.
not. So yet, for some reason, if I use a first gen Wii versus a PlayStation 4, I'm going to notice a quality difference in the
course.
PlayStation. And sure, it's a different system, and so it is apples
Right.
to oranges. But what I mean is, the power of that more powerful system, even though my TV never changed resolution, it's still the same resolution. The video quality is still the same.
Right.
Okay, but it looks so much better because that one is so much more powerful. So now take that and put it into a cloud server, where this cloud server is still streaming 1920 by 1080p to my 1080p TV. And yet it has so much power.
Yes.
Like, it's a multi-billion-dollar system versus my little $400
Right.
console, right? So the resolution is not the bottleneck now.
Correct.
Our internet is capable of streaming 4K video in real time with no latency.
Right.
That's incredible. So now put a back end in there that is so powerful that I can do that on my cheap device.
Yes.
And on any device, and I can transition from device to device. I don't have to buy anything in particular to be able to use my games.
And the transition is happening, but the transition's going to be difficult for people like me who still like to go to the store and buy a game. And
Yeah.
and I actually kind of
And if they go out of business,
hesitate.
you take it with you and put it on.
yeah,
It doesn't
and
matter.
I I hesitate even buying digital copies of games.
Yeah.
Like, I like to have the actual game,
Mm-hmm.
but I understand that the future is coming up quick. I'm still going to buy a PS5,
Sure.
but I'm going to also likely play games on Stadia.
Right.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point. I want to just reiterate what you just said, which is I'm going to also play video games on
Yes.
Stadia. So I don't think that we're replacing that offline phone device. I think we're supplementing it and saying,
an enhancement.
hey, now, okay, you can also, when you're connected to the internet, play games that you can't play when you're offline that are like high end.
Yeah.
And that's where, okay, maybe this is just another platform. We all have multiple
Well,
platforms,
they have that for
right?
VR. I wonder if they'll have like.
Now
I
here's
don't know. The latency is too high for VR.
Here's the
because
question I would have,
you've got to be able. It's got to be able to track you
with this.
right now.
So I mean, like you've brought up VR, which totally
That's
makes
in
sense.
the far future, I suppose.
Yes. What about things like frame rate? Like, because you said
60p 4K, that's pretty good to me.
No, but no,
Yeah,
I hear
4K.
you. But you're talking about the screen resolution. I mean, if your internet can't keep up, it's going to impact your gameplay.
Sure.
Do you
Yeah.
remember when it used to be like, "Oh, I'm lagging so bad"?
Yeah.
Like, are we,
Yes.
is this opening
Yeah.
the door to go back to lagging? Are my kids going to go, "What is
Yes.
lagging?"
However, consider this as, and I know we do need to move on to the next story, but
Yes.
consider that the very companies that are pushing the technology shift are the same companies who are controlling the introduction of like Google's gigabit fiber to the home,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
if that's so it's going to perform well. It's like you just know that that's what they're driving toward, and they're not going to build a service that's going to fail based on that. Latency is a big thing,
Sure,
for sure.
Yeah. And because this is internet based, it's going to resolve the cross-platform compatibility issues.
It's an interesting thing though, because you have to remember that this is not game streaming. This is video streaming.
Mm-hmm.
We've already proven through YouTube and through everything else that video streaming is great these days.
Yep.
There's no latency on videos, like really in real time, if it was real time. So they've created real time video streaming service that has the interactivity of controls.
Mm-hmm.
And a control doesn't take a lot of bandwidth.
No.
So it's like it's instant as long as you don't have high pings.
Right.
As long as you don't have latency on your internet connection, and that's the key thing. And so they'll be driving ISPs to support their codecs, and
Yeah,
we'll
that's true.
see an evolution in that kind of thing.
It's going to be
That's-
interesting.
that's
Interesting.
gonna
We're
all
in
be
it
part
like
of
a
it.
cuspy kind of time
Yeah.
now. Oh, very cool.
If you've tried Stadia or any other cloud-based service, comment below. Let us know. If you've been contemplating it, maybe post why you haven't tried it yet.
Mm-hmm.
What's holding you up? This tablet is starting to drive me nuts, guys.
I definitely can't read that. It's a very complicated password, isn't it? Oh, and it just came right up. Perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Artist Simon Weckert noticed something unusual at a May Day demonstration in Berlin. Google Maps showed that there was a massive traffic jam, even though there were 0 cars on the road. Soon enough, Weckert realized that it was the mass of people, or more specifically, their smartphones, that had inadvertently tricked Google into seeing gridlock on an empty street. And then he decided to do it himself. Weckert says, quote, "The question was if it might be possible to generate something like this in a much simpler way. I don't need the people, I just need their smartphones," end quote. So he borrowed phones from friends and rental companies until he had acquired 99 devices, which he piled into a little red wagon. The plan was simple. Over the course of a day, Weckert would walk up and down a given street, mostly at random, towing his smartphone-packed wagon behind him. The effect wasn't instantaneous. It took Google Maps about an hour to catch up. But eventually, inevitably, Weckert said that his wagon would create a huge, long red line in the app, indicating that traffic had slowed to a crawl, even though there wasn't any traffic at all. He had effectively tricked the system into thinking a series of large buses was crawling back and forth. Google said in a statement, quote, "Traffic data in Google Maps is refreshed continuously thanks to information from a variety of sources, including aggregated and anonymized data from people who have location services turned on and contributions from the Google Maps community," end quote. They note that while it had figured out how to distinguish between cars and motorcycles, it does not yet have any way to filter for Weckert's setup. Weckert says, quote, "What I'm really interested in generally is the connection between technology and society and the impact of technology, how it shapes us," end quote. The hack is getting attention, not only because it's fun, but also serves as a necessary reminder that the systems people take for granted involve inputs and outputs, and that they themselves are sometimes both. It shows how simple it is to fool a product in which people place a tremendous amount of trust.
That is interesting. That's a lot of fun, but I love how the artist has found the spin to say, hey, maybe we're trusting the technology a little too much. So much so that anyone looking at their app or using their GPS that's powered by Google services is avoiding those areas based on his little experiment.
Right. So when I had first heard this story, I thought to myself, okay, so 4 people are in a car. Like if you're carpooling and you're stuck in a slow section of the highway, is it going to show up way busier on the highway than it actually is? It's completely,
it seems, That's nuts.
I personally use Waze, which is owned by Google.
I think it's the exact same.
Well, no, there's some enhanced features that Google Maps doesn't have.
It's spelled differently.
Oh,
Yeah. But what I like about Waze is that it is user input, unlike a lot of Google Maps that is drawn by anonymous user data and things happening in the back end. So Waze builds off Google Maps, but then you can add your individual components into it. But I have at times had a phone call or a text or something come in where it's like, I need to respond to this. So I'll pull over on the side of the road, do the thing that I need to do, and all of a sudden I get an alert on my phone. We're detecting a slowdown.
Oh.
Are you in traffic? How heavy is the traffic? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Busy.
I'm pulled over. And so I'll say no and move on.
They're like, this is odd. Jeff is not texting while driving.
No, I follow
This is
the
out
rules.
of character for you.
I follow the rules. But what I could have done is gone, yes, heavy traffic.
Sure.
Traffic's flowing
Yeah.
beside me. But so, I mean, there is that user element. So I've never fully trusted the information I see on those services because I know that there is that user input data.
Right. Actually, today on my way to the studio, I always use Google Maps. Even though I know how to get here, I always use it. I like to be told what to do. But Google told me to take the highway, and I looked at the highway and I thought, that's a dead stop. And Google was pretty mad at me. Like it kept trying to direct me back to the highway, but I was like, I am taking the main roads.
Was it just that one spot? And then it was fine after?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's one spot on the highway right now. But okay, so this opens up something though interesting about, and I know we need to move to the next story, but about proximity. How specific is location-based services on the phone? Because like my kids play Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
So when they're at home, if they move from one side of the living room to the next, their character moves with them.
Yeah.
But when I'm sitting in the car, I'm getting a bigger blip on the map. And so I don't know if it can update as quick to my precise location.
It's probably lulling you into a false sense of like anonymity. It knows exactly where exactly where you're parked.
So then could Google have not built something into the programming that it watches for the collection of devices and it goes, there are 99 within this box. That's not actual.
I think they will now, Jeff.
I think they're working on that in this present
So
moment.
it is
I don't
something
think they
can
saw
do.
him coming.
Yeah, that's right. The wagon foiled us again.
Okay, we have got to take a quick break. More of this week's top tech stories are coming up. Don't go anywhere.
Fabulous.
Yeah, starting like immediately, they're going to be working on that problem.
It's probably already solved. Don't forget to welcome people back, Sash.
Oh, I have a hard time when that's not scripted.
I know. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. ARM has announced the Ethos U55 and the Cortex M55 for edge devices, bringing an AI neural network accelerator to future smart speakers, light bulbs, fridges, and other IoT devices. The more powerful of the two, known as the Cortex M55, is a general microcontroller-grade CPU blueprint, while the other, named Ethos U55, is essentially an AI accelerator. The Cortex M55 is based on ARM's helium technology. The Ethos U55, on the other hand, is a novel architecture for ARM and has been described as a micro neural processing unit, or micro NPU for short. Both processors are available now to license and are intended to be used together. The M55 running application code, the U55 doing all the neural network mathematics in fast hardware. The senior director of the IoT and embedded team at ARM says, quote, "The micro NPU cannot be used on its own. It needs to be paired with a CPU like the Cortex M55. Together, this system delivers 480 times the performance compared to previous Cortex M generations working on their own," end quote. We expect to see chips using these blueprints early next year.
Awesome. I can't believe this is real life, that
This is
neural
fun.
processing units are now
I
a
know.
part of an SoC. Like, this is,
Yeah.
so it's just
I-
sci-fi to my
Well, exactly.
1980s mind.
Like I remember when which Star Trek was it where they use the neural packs?
Neural packs?
What are they called? Oh my gosh, one of the Star Treks, was it Enterprise maybe, where there's like a
to have like telepresence?
yeah, within the ship, and like they would blow out and they'd have to replace them, and they were like these gel pack things, and I'm like, that would never happen.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Star
I
Trek.
don't think that's what this is, Jeff.
No, I understand. No, I understand that. But I remember watching that. I think it was Star Trek Enterprise, and I was like, "There's no way we're gonna have that kind of advanced technology. It's not possible." And this is like 15, 20 years ago, and now I'm watching stuff like this where it's like neural networks. I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" Every year there's a new possibility, and I never would have expected this.
This is, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So we're talking like the next gen of
yes,
AI.
which is
that-
so crazy.
That these little chips can now process teraflops worth of information. Like, it's,
Tiny
I
little-
don't know what it really is, but it's like ridiculous amounts of data having to do with AI.
Right.
So that the next thing is that coders will be able to make thinking devices. So those smart speakers with this technology will be smarter.
Yeah.
I wonder
What's
how it's gonna
interesting
change
to me
phones.
is the fact that they're two separate things. Like, I'm surprised that
Well,
they
you
don't
have to
just-
have a CPU. You have to have the ability to run traditional code.
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to, as a human, interact with it.
Yeah.
There has to be a layer for humans to be able to access the NPU.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Otherwise, it just blow our minds.
Now, how quickly before this would be adapted for phones? And
Well, we
like,
already
Early
have
next
AI
year?
technology in phones.
right, but I mean at this level,
Yeah, I don't know.
like, because that could change mobile computing.
Sure, it's going to change a lot of stuff.
Oh, it's gonna be
But that's the
wild.
idea, is that it's getting faster, smaller,
Yeah.
and more integrated. That's the way technology goes.
I
And so
love
we're
it.
seeing a massive shift in how data is processed, because we're specifically looking toward AI.
We're not far
And
from
machine
from a
learning.
Jarvis
Mhm.
in our little classes.
Attackers behind one of the world's more destructive pieces of ransomware have found a new way to defeat defenses that might otherwise prevent the attack from encrypting data. Installing a buggy driver first and then hacking it to burrow deeper into the targeted computer. The ransomware in this case is Robinhood, known for taking down the City of Baltimore networks and systems in Greenville, North Carolina. Robinhood can easily encrypt sensitive files once a vulnerability has allowed the malware to gain a toehold. For networks that are better fortified, the ransomware has a harder time breaking in. Now, Robinhood has found a way to defeat these defenses. In two recent attacks, researchers from security firm Sophos said the ransomware has used its access to a targeted machine to install a driver from Taiwan-based motherboard manufacturer Gigabyte that has a known vulnerability in it. It's the same vulnerability that led to Gigabyte officials discontinuing the use of the driver. But since it contains Gigabyte's cryptographic signature, the Windows operating system trusts it and allows it to run in the highly sensitive Windows kernel region of the OS without question. With the benign but buggy driver installed, Robinhood then exploited the vulnerability to gain the ability to read and write to virtually any memory region chosen by the attacker. The Robinhood exploit changed a single byte to disable the Windows requirement that drivers be signed. With that, Robinhood installed its own unsigned driver that used its highly privileged kernel access to kill processes and files belonging to endpoint security products. The advanced status of the driver gave it greater ability than other techniques to ensure that the targeted processes are permanently stopped. There are other Windows trusted drivers with known vulnerabilities that could be used in the same way of Gigabyte's drivers. These include signed drivers from VirtualBox, Novel, CPU-Z, and Asus. And while the Gigabyte driver may be the first known instance of this type of hack, it very well may not be the last, and points to a need for Microsoft to reassess the way their certificate revocation procedures.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Because the part of me wants to say, oh, well, just revoke the certificate anytime there's an exploit. But remember that then that would nullify everybody's drivers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is almost, I mean, as I'm hearing it, this is like a new wave of Trojan attacks, so to speak.
Yes.
That's what it feels like.
Right?
Like you're coming in through
a trusted...
trusted source to get access. Is that not the basic principle behind it? Or is it a whole different way of
It
doing
just feels like, so they're using it as an elevated privilege tactic. So they're using a driver that Windows trusts because of the signature being valid. So it's not a fake driver. It's not like a malware. It is a legitimate driver, but it has a bug in it that caused it to be recalled, basically. But the Windows operating system, no matter what version you're running, still trusts the installer for that driver because of the certificate that is applied to it. And so the hackers are using that to then be able to elevate their privileges and do whatever the heck they want.
Right.
And that's the scary thing, because how do you stop that? How can you possibly stop that? I think it comes down to where's your first line of defense? I think the only thing you have to, that you can look at is how did they get in the first place? Was it a phishing scam? Was it somebody clicked on an email that had some fileless malware that allowed somebody to run something resident in their computer? Is it that you have remote desktop turned on one of your computers on your network? And that's really easy to hack.
Now, I don't know how certificates work just because I haven't delved into that. But does each certificate and each driver have its own like certificate identifier?
No, the driver doesn't have its own certificate, but the company that manufactures the driver does. So that certificate says, yes, to Microsoft, this is a Gigabyte driver provided by Gigabyte because it contains the certificate that proves that this is a legitimate driver from Gigabyte.
So what if the certificate system changed in such a way that you have your main certificate, say for Gigabyte, but then you have your sub-certificates for each driver rollout so that it identifies this driver as this subset?
Yeah.
Would that help identify the
As a developer, I feel like that's you're giving me nightmares right now, Jeff.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I'm just trying to think outside the box.
I like where you're going, but it just sounds like a logistical nightmare as far as managing those certificates. Like it could just be a nightmare.
Yeah.
I think maybe some kind of an heuristic analysis that is able to identify. Maybe it's a checksum that identifies known faulty drivers or deprecated drivers,
Right.
so that Windows could say, yes, this is a valid certificate. However, Gigabyte has marked this certificate or this installer as bad.
Right.
It's got to be some kind of an identifier.
Yeah.
Or just
It'll be
go Linux.
interesting.
Yeah, do that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And
Problem solved.
That's the answer.
Go Linux.
wonderful. Big thanks to Roy W. Nash and our community of viewers for submitting stories to us this week. Thanks for watching the Category5.tv newsroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your tech news with a slight Linux bias. And if you appreciate what we do, become a patron at patreon.com/newsroom. From the Category5.tv newsroom, I'm Sasha Rickman.
And I'm Robbie Ferguson.
And I'm Jeff Weston.
Thanks for being here, everybody. That is all the time that we have. I hope you've had fun. Hope it's been a good week for you, and we look forward to seeing you again next Wednesday. Take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Quick intro?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to say goodnight to the chat room right now because sometimes I forget to say goodnight. Buddies. There we go.
Okay. Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV. This week I'm going to show you how to create app-like browser windows for all of your favorite web services. Jeff, you've got a charging device.
That's right.
It's going to allow us to charge all of our phones, tablets in one handy location.
It's a good deal. We're going to
Stick
unbox
around.
this one.
Yeah, stick around. We've got a great show planned.
Good, yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Power off.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you. That was fun.
All right,
Good
recorder was
night.
successful, and stop. And
Excellent.
stop. Excellent indeed.
I went to bed yesterday at